You said something about a main event, and I'm still very, very interested about what that is. What's the main event?
Well, I mean, I don't know how you could not know what the main event is.
I actually don't.
Yeah, you do.
I actually don't.
Incoming, in 5,
4, 3.
I'm expecting Westworld.
2, 1.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, there was a new Westworld trailer. It looks great.
No, but Willie wants to talk about Pokemon Go.
He wants to talk about the Pokemon Go Festival of Disaster.
For those
Festival
of you
of fuckies
who missed out, please go and watch the Pokemon Go Fest stream supercut.
Savagely seasoned cringe.
Is that by Crowcat?
I don't know who's it by. Nope, by BobVids.
Okay, because Crowcat usually gets to these first.
Someone put together this awesome 8-minute compilation of all the worst moments of the Pokemon Go Fest stream.
I need to watch this later.
It is fucking legendary. For starters, we get crowd chants of like, okay, so today your goal is to collect these, blah, 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 and the crowd being, we can't fucking play! It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And just like these unbelievable, like, tone deaf people coming out to do their announcements, getting booed.
I thought it was just one guy.
And having, what is the worst possible thing you can do when the crowd hates you and you're eating your own ass?
Park. Dude, when I was in Chicago for the Godzilla Festival, like Pokemon Go just come out. And people were going nuts, like, all over wherever we went. So whatever it is, Chicago is like a huge hub for this, and Grand Park is massive.
Dude,
so wow,
the
that's
first
even
thing
worse
this
than
cuts to is like, hey there, everybody, Pokemon Go, deep dish pizza, the Cubs. And you're like, it's gonna be good.
Good to be here.
This gonna be good.
Chicago.
So what is the worst thing to do when an audience is booing your life?
What do you fix that?
What is the worst thing to do when an audience is booing your life away and you're up on stage with the microphone?
What do you do?
The worst thing you can do is just stay on message.
Yeah.
While
what would you do?
So
if you just happen to be in this scenario,
so
you have to address the heckle even slightly.
Yeah, okay.
So there was a even more baffling part of this stream. So we have all the goodness of people getting booed at and going.
Sorry. Niantic had a Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago to reveal Lugia as a Pokemon you can capture, and then to announce who the first legendary is going to be.
They also had
the birds.
A bunch of events planned of catching Pokemon and getting rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in addition to people getting bombed off stage, like just the
bottles getting thrown,
just the worst, right? There was also what may be the most baffling directing of a stream I've ever seen, in which crowd shots were clearly supposed to be part of the stream direction.
Yeah.
Take a look at the crowd. Look, the crowd's having fun. Zoom in on a guy's phone because he's playing the game. It included multiple minute-long shots of people having their game freeze and having them go, doesn't fucking work.
Every shot of someone on their phone was tapping a non-responsive screen.
And them going, fucking doesn't work. Oh, this sucks.
Transition back to Pokemon Fest.
But like some of them were long. Like there was one guy that had a completely dead ass frozen screen. They stayed on for a minute plus.
So what I can say is, thank God, eventually the CMO, I believe, came out of Niantic and
he'll solve this debacle.
He's the only person on stage the entire time that's going, hey guys,
well, he has the authority to go off.
We have some problems. We've detected 3 issues. We're working on them. 1 is on our side, or 2 are on our side. 1 is on the cell phone tower side, and being real about it. And then at the end, he's the same guy that comes up and goes, we're going to be offering refunds to anybody plus $100 of in-game coins.
Well, what about people who travel
and free legendaries? Well, here's your $100 of in-game coins, your free legendary, and your refund.
What if I took a flight to get here?
Well, here's your legendary and your 100 coins and your refund.
We fucking can.
Yeah, and it's just, it goes on and on and on. And again, like, the level of, like, audience, like, rage builds up over the course of the stream. And it gets to a point where like you can't. It's not even like
oh man,
it's not. It's like John Cena and Roman Reigns level of like we can't yell at each other loud enough over the audience hatred. But they're staying on message.
Yeah,
we're staying on message.
Like there's a certain nobility in that.
Because that's their job.
And I'm like, my job is to stand here and say these 10 things, and I'm going to say those fucking 10
Yeah,
things.
no, I would. I'm a lesser man. I would have cracked before that.
Dude, it's so...
I would have run off the stage.
I feel like the hatred would have empowered me to keep going.
Yeah,
like,
and like
they hate this.
And outside of that guy and the CMO guy coming out and talking, like, that's the only time... that they actually I told you bottles are thrown.
Oh, wow.
Bottles are thrown. Blood was shed.
So
they didn't acknowledge the problems outside of that.
At some point, the advice
so bad.
from Niantic
He's Team Mystic.
Down
Fuck that guy.
that, hey guys, maybe if you all go, I think it was north, and get closer to the cell tower, you'll have better luck if you stand next to the cell tower. Which, like, the event and the game require you to constantly move throughout a location. So even if that worked, it wouldn't work. And the other thing that I forgot about was the line.
What line?
Because the server issues were so dramatic. Did you know that concerts nowadays, you had this happen to you at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They use digital checkouts for tickets. Well,
which is fine as a complimentary thing, but you want someone to just be physically there ripping the tickets in case, I don't know, technology fails us.
Well, the technology failed them at the ticket line as well, which led to hours and hours of an unmoving line.
Yeah, there you go.
Of people standing in what is essentially a parking lot in the heat. In the middle of summer.
Babies are dying.
So awesome stuff. Interviews with kids going, hey, what's your favorite Pokemon?
It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, I would catch that, but I can't.
So did you?
I'm not allowed.
So immediately following me laughing about this, I found the 2017 Gathering of the Juggalos infomercial, and that shit is going to be a real good event. They have a speed tattoo contest.
There you go.
Amazing.
There you go. One of the best things about this, of course, in this Savagely Seasoned cringe trailer is
there was so many people in that shot.
Is how, like...
There's like a fucking field of motherfuckers all over the place.
They close out on their roundtable little discussion going, I can't wait to see... the internet's talking about this. I can't wait to see the videos that pop up talking about GoFest.
Yeah, I bet.
So...
See, when I see a huge crowd of unhappy people like that, all I can think of is like, that's enough people that you could just rush the stage and literally tear everyone limb from limb and probably get away with it because there's too many people for you to be noticed.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Like, you could just put a little hood on and just literally tear the Niantic CMO's
just put a little hood on your dick.
If anybody on that stage was the wrong shade, that stage might have gotten rushed nice and easy.
Hey,
right quick Chicago style.
Here's the person responsible for your problems. It's him.
It's so weird because
he's gonna stand in front of this big bullseye.
Just shut up, because like Pokemon's just such a happy go like, and there's all these people screaming, "It doesn't fucking work, you fucking cop mongers!" And it's just so weird.
Pokemon hasn't been family friendly in a competitive way for a long time.
That's true. I know.
Ever since the Spanish team shit in their own hand to throw at the other winners.
The genesis of the idea was family friendly fun. And it's just 20-year-olds going, it doesn't fucking work.
Thankfully, it was mostly people traveling to get there, right? Not actually necessarily Chicago natives, I suppose.
How is that better? That means
I know.
People actually wasted so much more of their time.
That weekend in Chicago where it's just like every time you looked at anyone with their phone out, they're all like... I think it was like Nate Wants to Battle or like Takahata or something. Like, remember that magical like 2 months where the world was actually happy? For like a little while.
Playing Pokemon outside?
Playing Pokemon Go outside. Like that'll never get that again. Not to that level. Not to that level at least. What an amazing story.
You know what they should have done?
What should they do?
Feed them beer.
Feed who beer? The children?
Yep. Just start feeding them beer.
Just beer shower?
Yep.
Beer rave? Okay.
Get it going. Calm them down. That's how that ends.
With like a hose, like a high pressure hose?
Just afraid at the crowd.
Maybe I'm a terrible businessman, but I'm the kind of person who thinks that in a situation like this, there needs to be like massive rewards to every. And like $100 of coins, that's not enough. You need to drive up a free beer. Everyone gets as much beer as they can drink, and then you create a horrible riot.
You get a beer for your child,
but at least everyone will be happy.
Here's a child beer.
Yep.
So the trick with that is that you go to a local park and promise kids $1 each, and then you bring them to the place and get a beer for them, and then someone gets back away, and then you have the beer.
There you go.